their seats for live action Tangled. I mean,
Me too.
Right. So excited. What are you most
It's like the sky is new.
Two photos leaked out of Spain yesterday. Within hours, the same Disney fans who spent 2 weeks demanding this movie get cancelled went completely quiet, but look closer at the Rapunzel picture. You never actually see her face. And what you see instead might be the biggest clue yet about how this entire movie gets made. Let's back up, because this project almost didn't survive. Disney's live-action Tangled was first reported in early development in December 2024. Michael Gracey signed on to direct. He made The Greatest Showman and Better Man, so this one's a full musical. Then Snow White happened. It made around $205 million worldwide against a rumored $270 million budget. Disney hit pause on Tangled in April 2025. Then Lilo and Stitch opened to $146 million and passed $1 billion worldwide. And suddenly Tangled was alive again, reportedly revived that October. On January 7th this year, Disney announced the leads. Teagan Croft plays Rapunzel. You might know her as Raven from Titans. Milo Manheim plays Flynn Rider. He's the Zombies star, and he finished second on Dancing with the Stars. Here's a detail most people missed. Manheim told Entertainment Weekly he found out he'd booked it about 10 minutes before the public did. He didn't sit on the secret for months. He barely had time to breathe. And then Zachary Levi showed up in his comments. Levi voiced Flynn in 2010. He wrote, "Congrats, Milo. Now go do Eugene Fitzherbert proud." That was the blessing. And for 6 months, that's basically all fans had. Catherine Hahn confirmed she's Mother Gothel in March, posting a Gothel t-shirt and switching her Instagram bio to Mother Knows Best. Diego Luna joined on May 1st in a role Disney created just for this version. Scarlett Johansson had circled Gothel, but passed because of the Batman Part 2, and The Exorcist. Filming started in Spain in late June. Reports say it runs around 8 months. Based out of the Ciudad de la Luz studios in Alicante, then July 17th happened. A fan account called Tangled Updates posted set photos to X. And I want to be clear about this. These aren't official. Disney didn't release them. Nobody at the studio approved them. The first shows Milo Manheim as Flynn Rider. Full costume, tousled dark hair, a mustache and goatee he grew for the role. It's close enough to the cartoon that people genuinely had to check it was real. The second shows Rapunzel from behind. And that's where it gets interesting, because you can see the wig. It's blonde, it's enormous, and it stops at her knees. In the animated film, Rapunzel's hair is 70 feet long, so the wig isn't the hair. The wig is for dialogue scenes, close-ups, the moments where she's just standing in a room talking. The 70 feet of glowing magic, that's coming later, and it's coming from a computer. One photo, no face. And it just told you how the whole movie works. But there's another photo of Croft from a few weeks earlier, and almost nobody connected the two. We'll get there. First, the fight that started all of this on July 7th, that same account posted a look inside the castle set, Corona's Great Hall, the village market, and the sun tapestries on the walls. In the 2010 film, Corona is purple and gold. It's on the flags, the banners, the guards. It's the visual signature of the entire kingdom. In the set photos, the tapestries look blue. That's it. That's the whole thing. And it went nuclear. The images reportedly passed 2 million views on X in under a day. One fan wrote, "Cancel the whole movie. OMG, Tangled is purple." Another said losing the purple was the worst thing Disney could have done to them. Now, let's be fair for a second. These are unlit, ungraded photos shot from a distance. Color in a finished film goes through months of grading. Blue fabric under warm light can read purple on screen. Nobody outside that production knows what the final kingdom looks like, but the reaction tells you something real. Disney built itself a trap. Copy the cartoon frame for frame, and people call it a lazy cash grab. Change one shade of one banner, and people call it a betrayal. There's no version of this where everybody's happy. And then, 10 days later, 2 photos landed that flipped the entire conversation. Here's what nobody expected. The same fandom that wanted this canceled over a color started defending it. The Flynn photo did most of that work. Fans called the costume spot on. One person admitted they'd assumed it was a fan edit because it looked too accurate to be real footage. And there's a detail in the Rapunzel photo that quietly ends the color argument. Her dress isn't lighter than the cartoon. Multiple outlets pointed out it's a deeper purple than the animated version. So, the movie people accused of stealing purple from Tangled just gave Rapunzel more of it. That reaction matters more than it sounds. Costumes and hair are usually the first things torn apart in a Disney remake. Getting praised for them before Disney's released a single official frame almost never happens. And Manheim's been building toward this since day one. When the casting dropped, he posted that he was too grateful to put into words. I will do him justice, I promise. 6 months later, he's on a hillside in Spain with a mustache he grew on purpose. Now, that other photo. Right before cameras rolled, Milo's mother posted pictures from the set. Cameron Manheim, Emmy winner, visiting her son at work, and in those photos, Teagan Croft has a pixie cut. Very short. Very dark. If you've seen Tangled, you already know why that's interesting. At the end of the movie, Rapunzel's hair gets cut off. It loses its magic. It goes short and brown. Croft's real hair now looks exactly like that. Nobody's confirmed what it means. It could be purely practical. Short hair sits flatter under a wig. Or they've already shot the ending. And Disney needs this one to land. Badly, because last weekend, the live-action Moana opened $43 million domestic. $95 million worldwide. On a production budget reported at $250 million before marketing, that's one of the weakest openings a Disney live-action remake has ever had. It came in barely above Snow White's $42 million debut. Some outlets project it loses over $100 million by the end of its run. So the remake machine is finished. Right? Not quite. Because Lilo and Stitch did this last year and made $1 billion. Same studio. Same playbook. Completely different result. The difference looks like timing. Moana arrived 10 years after the original and under 2 years after Moana 2. Audiences had just spent time with those characters. Tangled is the opposite. The original came out in 2010. That's 16 years, and there was never a theatrical sequel. Director Nathan Greeno explained why earlier this year. He said the original team sat down for hours and walked away admitting they couldn't find a story worth telling. So Tangled has been sitting untouched for 16 years. No sequel fatigue, no overexposure, no recent version competing with it, which makes it the cleanest shot Disney has left. So what actually happens now? Filming runs into early next year, with reports pointing to Spain and the UK. There's still no official release date. Most outlets are expecting 2027 or 2028. The next real moment is D23. Disney's fan event runs August 14th through 16th in Anaheim, and the entertainment showcase lands on that Friday. If an official first look is coming, that's where it lands. And one thing is still completely hidden. Diego Luna's character doesn't exist in the 2010 movie. Disney built it for this version. No name. No description. Nothing In a remake, fans are dissecting one banner at a time. That's the biggest unknown on the board. A brand new character, dropped into a story people know by heart, so you never saw her face. But you saw the wig that stops at her knees, the 70 feet that isn't really there, and a haircut that shouldn't exist yet. That's a lot more than Disney meant to show you. If you want the full breakdown of why Moana sank while Lilo and Stitch made $1 billion, that one's linked right here. And if you want the next update the day it breaks, subscribe. We're watching Spain.